everybody and welcome on today's video. Today it is repotting time for this birch. The buds are really swelling here. I might even do some bud selection later, but yeah, I don't know. First of all, I'm going to repot this tree. I like the deep white container here, but it's a little bit too deep. I would like something 2/3 of this, but I don't have it. I have something bluish that I will probably use to put this tree in after this repot. But yeah, well, it will be what it will be. And first of all, let's sort these roots out. The main issue on these roots is this portion here. And yeah, well, look at that. One nice mat of roots, so that's very good. All right, so a little wheat, not gonna need that. And then the moss, which is, well, kinda nice, so let's just keep this little piece here. It's not a whole lot, but it's nice. So, first of all, yeah, well, the tree grew really well. It's wet. Yeah, that's a consistent mat. You can see the drainage screens here. So the first thing to do is obviously getting rid of this whole mat here in the bottom of the pot, and then it probably will become very obvious that this tree doesn't need a repot. But it's just a question of getting these surface roots nice. So that's what I'm gonna do. See, there's plenty of room for this tree to grow. So this is not a growing or health issue, it's just a question of getting these roots to look as nice as they can. And I think that this year, this might be how the tree will look in the coming years regarding the roots, because I think I'm almost there. Some obvious problems like a crossing root here. This one's growing straight over this one. It fuses probably in the future, but there's no need to keep crossing roots when you have better roots under it. Same here, this root straight over the other one. So, okay, I'm going to rig this out slowly. So here I don't see any big troubles. That's a really nice roots. Same here. Here we see we have a few smaller roots that should be repositioned in order to make them as radial as possible. And I think that I might just need to get everything loose and washed and etc. And the question for this root will be, do I keep this one? Do I have something attached here? Yeah, it's a healthy root. Not top, but healthy enough to survive and grow stronger. And again, trying not to rake out everything. at this point just pushing the substrate through. This root is very thick, and because I want another container, I'll have to be sure that I can get the root ball into this new container, which is a little shallower, a little wider maybe, oval and blue. It's the pot where my broom style elm was growing in, which I did a repot on a couple of days ago, because now it's March and you'll probably just see this in April, but it takes time to edit these videos, and tomorrow it's working day, so I don't know if I can do that. So I'm going to remove all the substrate from this. See, there's almost no organic in this substrate, and it is very wet, which means that you don't need too much organic stuff to keep these trees happy and well growing. But then on the other side, I must admit that I use containers that are a little bit too big for the taste of most people, but it's just a practical thing, and the trees grow well. So I will now finish the soil removal. I will also get rid of that moss on the trunk. And then we'll have a look at the root system. So let's start with the obvious. So this is the front, somewhere like that, you know. Well, this root is gigantic. I have a small root here and a couple of other ones here that might take over, so I think I'll remove this portion, which is already, well, not quite a lot, but something. There's a root straight under it, so I don't think that I'm gonna need that. So I'll reduce that very short. This root is not completely radial, but it's not that bad, so I'll keep that, make it a little shorter. This one is a fine root. Most of the people would remove their root, thinking it's a real root, but this is going to become the big root in the future. There's another one straight under it, but it's coming from a whole different spots. This root, it's not the greatest. It's kind of low, but okay, I'll keep it. And then we have this enormous thing here. Where is this coming from? So you see, that's not a bad root at all, that small thing here. But it has some crossing roots, so if I can get that over here, that's going to be much better. Like that. This big root has some finer roots here on top, which is not fantastic, but there's also a little root here, so I think I might try to reduce it up to that small portion, and by that removing that big lump here, and I'll try to clean that out a little better, maybe with a concave pruner, like so. And if next year I get a little more growth here, I'll reduce it further. Yeah, this is, I don't know. It's in the back, it's going up. I have a better root right next to it, so let's just remove this portion because there's a better root right under it. And I'll probably can lift this one a little bit more, so you see that's much better. This is a root on top of a much better root. Here I have a curly bit and a little better root right here. So I'll remove that. Here, here. This is the bottom. Remove this. And then we have this portion here. So that's a complicated part. So this is very good. This is good. This is acceptable, I think. Everything next to it also, so it's just this portion. But you see we have already callousing here, so I think it is the right time to remove that big lump here. The root base is still not what it should be, but in order to get a good root base, you have to do this repot and root selection every year until you have the root spread that you want. Now I wonder, I have roots under here. Could they take over this one? Well, maybe. I'm not wild about this, so let me have a look. I don't know if you can see this clearly because it's a whole lot of stuff going on here. There's a root under here. Wait a minute. Root under here, little root here. It's not really strong, but maybe they can take over and I will reduce these ones. So we are back to the front. Here, very big roots, but a whole lot of stuff under it. So I'll probably remove, well, I'll do it in stages. So this one, okay. So we still have that and that, so I don't want that. I'll have to come in from another angle. Yeah, that's excellent. So now I have this one. I remove some stuff here and here and here. All right, I'm going to wash this out again, and then I think final root selection and combing. Okay. So this is the pot I had in mind for this tree. I think it fits quite well. I'm not sure about this big root here, especially the thing growing down here straight. I don't think I'm gonna need that, so let's remove this portion. And you can hear that the weather is nice here because all these guys on their big bikes are starting to tour. Never understood why a bike should make that much noise, but okay, it's probably just me again being difficult. All right, so a little trim here on the edges with the tree in the pot to see where we are supposed to draw the line. But I don't think I'm gonna remove a whole lot. I think it's good, and that the most important thing is that this tree gets the proper height in the pot, so we'll have to lower the camera, have a good visual on this. So let's get some substrate, clean up and do that. So you're looking at the front now, and I'm not, because I'm not in the same spot as you are. And as you see, I can raise this whole thing quite a lot. Like so. Then I'll try to wiggle the tree in and where are my glasses? All right, and have a look at the height and the position of the tree. So yeah, I always wondered, should the front be here or here? Of course, if I do that, I have this root right in my face, which I don't like. And if I do it that way, I don't want the, let me explain. I don't want the main trunk here and this at the same distance. So it's gonna be this one behind this tree or this one a little bit behind this tree. Okay, so this is what it should not be. This way I can see this one a little more, but this way I can see this one a little more. The roots are slightly better. I have a good back branch there, and I have a lot more movement in the main tree. So I'm going to choose this. So now it's going to be a question of getting all these roots nicely combed out. That's a dead one. Well, not the dead one that I cut off. But everything that I position nicely today will become a very good roots in the future. So not a lot to talk about here, just getting everything as radial as I possibly can, sometimes holding the roots while I put the first substrate on it. And then while I work the roots in with the chopstick and substrate, they'll be where I want them. But this is a very slow process. But it's so important. If your root base is not good, don't put your tree back in the pot and say, well, let it grow 10 years and then it will be good. No, it won't. It won't. It will be big and horrible. Not better. And you see, sometimes I leave the roots at the at the surface, which is of course not good for a root. A root wants to be buried. And I can put it a little deeper, not a whole lot, and I'll cover it with too much substrate in the end. I'll put some moss over it, and then after a couple of weeks, when everything grows well, I remove that moss and I'll remove that too much substrate, and then the roots are where they should be, and then they grow down, and that's what you want. Well, that's what I want. Okay. Piece of raffia. Okay, so here it is very important to lift this a little bit. And then the one right next to it. This one is at a strange angle, so I can probably do a little better here. Oh boy. Okay, I think I'm there. And now it's just a question of working everything in. First of all, I'm going to water this, and then I'll do the rest. And then we'll be back for a final shot. So I'll be right back. So the tray is watered, and I'm just going to add a little more, a little moss to the whole thing. Just a little touch of color, which I like. I don't need a whole lot, just a couple of details. And then this is how the tree should look in the coming months, but since it's freshly repotted, I'm going to cover up just a half a centimeter of the surface with some more substrate until everything starts growing, until the soil, the substrate is well fixed, because every time you water your tree, the soil moves a little bit. It's gravity. Yeah, like so. But like I said, in a couple of weeks then I'll take my little brush and remove that top layer. So I'm not sure about that blue pot, but it might also be just a question that I grown well a little bit to the white pot, but yeah, I think the shape is nice. The height is a little bit better because it's not that deep. Yeah, I like the oval thing. Not sure about the color. I was used to see it in a white container, but now it's gonna be blue. But that's it, no trimming. I'm going to let everything grow first, and then I'll see what is doing great and then what is supposed to come off. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching and see you next time.